Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I would like to welcome you to Connie's Craft Along. Thank you so much for coming along with me this evening, and Happy New Year. If you weren't on yesterday and I haven't spoken to you in person, Happy New Year. It is 2024, and the most exciting thing about 2024 so far, anyway, is that today our January to April mini catalog and celebration went live. Woohoo! So many wonderful new things in there. First look through, it's like, oh yeah, that's nice. I don't know, maybe. And then you go back again, it's like, oh, that. And then you start to see some things, and then you order a couple and you play with them, and it's like, oh my gosh, so many things in here I'm falling in love with. So yes, that's what's been happening, but it's very exciting. New mini catalog is now live and celebration. And what that means is that for every $60 you spend on absolutely anything from Stampin' Up, doesn't have to be from the new catalog, it can be anything, stock up on cardstock, anything at all. You may select a free item from the celebration brochure. And who doesn't like free? Isn't that awesome? Anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. But if you are here this evening, do say hello. Let me know that you are on. I am just going to see if I can get it up on my other screen here so I can see who's here and see what everybody has to say. Uh, if you are watching the replay, let me know. I love to see who has been able to join me or to watch. And speaking of people joining me this evening, I have a visitor. I have an extra guest. Jen, you found me twice, 2 days in a row. That's awesome. Good. There's hope for me getting my message out for how to find me. So this is awesome. Welcome. So glad you are here tonight. Anyway, can you see here? There is oh no, sorry, Stampin' Kitty. This is Millie. Millie is one of my daughter's cats, and Millie and Moose are staying with us for a few weeks because my daughter and her husband are in Australia. Her best friend's getting married, and she's married of honor, so they had to go to Australia. So anyway, we get to take care of the grand cats, so that's kind of fun. But now that I've pointed her out, you can see all the rest of this. Oh, I was thinking the other day, maybe I should just get rid of that table and just put a bookshelf or something very small, because that at least would reduce the amount of stuff that I could possibly put back there. It's just so handy to have things there. And those, those are all my Stampin' Right markers, and I was playing with those yesterday. So they could have been put away today, but they weren't. Oh, anyway, shall we get started? Um, one quick note. Today is Thursday, January 4th. Tomorrow is Friday, January 5th. The online global retreat early bird discount pricing ends tomorrow. So if that is something that you are interested in, and you're not you're not watching the replay after the 5th, then make sure you let me know when you get registered so that you can get the discounted price. Why pay more? Just pay the discounted price. Alrighty, so here we go. Here are the pieces that we need for this evening. We're going to make 2 cards. You could do just 1 card, and I will show you that as we go through, but I figured it would be easiest just to have everybody cut everything for 2 cards. So who doesn't need 2 cards this time of year, right? Who doesn't need 2 cards any time of the year? Anyway, card base. Standard card base. Mine is thick, basic white, but yours can be anything that coordinates with your designer series paper. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And as I said, you will need 2 of those. Okay. 2 pieces of cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4. In case you're wondering, mine is Poppy Parade, but again, yours should be whatever coordinates with your designer series paper. 2 pieces of coordinating designer series paper. So here's the Poppy Parade. This is petal pink. And these are cut 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. And there are 2 of those. 2 pieces for sentiments, and it could be a die cut shape, a punch shape, just a a rectangle or a square or a strip, whatever you like. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something for your sentiment, hopefully that will fit your sentiment. And then a frame if you want it. And I've said it's optional because sometimes, depending what shape you're using or whatever, you don't want or need a frame. But I don't know for certain that I would use these. We'll see as we go, but I cut them so that they would be ready at least. And then the usual stamps, ink, adhesive, a bone folder, and whatever embellishments you might want. And then, so I grabbed this because you've noticed different Post-it notes. I try to save them, and then I try to look back to see if I can reuse any of them. It gets tough. I did reuse a couple this time. This one, the usuals, I can definitely reuse. Except that we needed a trimmer tonight as well, so I added in an extra little note saying, you're going to need a trimmer. Okay, so let me set this to the side. And we are going to start with our designer series paper. We will cut this first. So if you don't have your trimmer out or handy, you need to run and get it right now. I will pause for a moment while I grab mine. Oh, before you all ran away, I should have told you also, you are going to need something to measure with. So some sort of ruler, you can use your trimmer, and then a pen or a pencil. We're just going to put a little mark on our designer series paper. I'm sure there's a way you can line it up, but putting a little mark on it just seems like the quickest and easiest way to do it. So that's what I'm going to recommend. So we are going to, here, I'll bring my trimmer in and I'll do my measuring right up here. We are going to, this is the top of my paper. On the left-hand side, we are going to measure down 1 1/8 and put a little mark, and up 1 1/8. So I'm not going to use this ridge. If you're using your trimmer to measure, don't use your cutting trough. It's a little thick and it's hard to get accurate. And while that's not really the end of the world, it only matters in that you want it to be the same. So here's 5 down to 4 plus 1/8, and I'm just going to mark there. I put this at the 1 inch mark, and I'm going to put a little mark there. Okay, I'm using pencil. If it bothers you, you can erase it, but I don't think anybody's going to notice. If they do, as I say, you can erase it. Now, we are going to flip this 180 degrees. So now we're going down the right-hand side, and I'm going to measure 1 7/8 from the top and 1 7/8 from the bottom. And I put my little mark on there again. So 1 7/8. Put this at the 1 inch mark, and 1 7/8. Okay, so we have 1 1/8, 1 1/8, 1 7/8, 1 7/8. Now we are going to put, oh, everybody's got that. Okay, good. We are going to put our papers together so that we can cut both of them at the same time. And I am going to go from this top mark. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on camera or not, but my 1 1/8 mark is right here. My 1 7/8 is right there. I'm going to make sure it's right in the trough. And then because we're on an angle, it's not a steep angle, but anytime you're cutting on an angle, I always start in the middle and cut up and down. Well, hello, Joanne and Audrey. Audrey, so nice that you could join us this evening. We are just about to chop up our designer series paper. So I'll go back over these measurements in a minute, but I've got it all set up. So I'm just going to do that cut. And if you're using a guillotine cutter, obviously you've gone right through. But if you're using your trimmer, just go back and forth a couple of times because you are cutting two pieces of paper and it will do it just fine, usually in one swipe, but just to be sure, good idea to go back and forth a couple times. So Joanne, what we have done on our designer series paper, right way up. So here is the top. On the left side, we've measured from the top down 1 1/8 and from the bottom up 1 1/8. And then on the right side, we've measured from the top down 1 7/8 and from the bottom up 1 7/8. And now we've got both of our pieces of paper together and we are lining up our marks in the cutting trough and we are chopping it up. So not sure if you're crafting with us tonight, Joanne, or whether you ladies are just watching for now. If you're just watching, you can go back and see that all over again. But if not, hopefully you got it. Okay, so my trimmer is about to fly across the room here. Let's see if we can prevent that. Okay, so now what we have are two sets of paper that we can mix and match. Okay, I mentioned that you could just make one card. So this was this original piece of paper, and I could cut it exactly the same as we just cut, and then just flip this over because this does not have a direction. Okay. If you had wanted to do this piece flipped over, this is upside down, okay, because it got flipped, twisted. I don't know. This was the second piece. So I was cutting it with this as the top. And so it will just flip over. But the alternative, if it is directional and it's not working, is that you just flip it all this way. And then you can do the same card just in the opposite direction. Okay? It's card making. There is no right or wrong. Okay? But I think I am going to do both of these cards this way with the alternating color pattern, although then you won't see this very well. I'm going to change my mind on that. Okay, so I'm going to set this second set aside for now and just work with one. And so I'm going to put one of everything off to the side. Okay, so we have a card base, we have our Poppy Parade layer, we have a sentiment frame and a sentiment piece. Okay, at this point, I would suggest that it might be a good time to clean the sticky stuff off of your graph paper to stamp a sentiment. So, seeing as how we are sort of celebrating the new year and all, I have this sentiment: new day, new adventure. It doesn't have to be to celebrate the new year or anything. Hello, Lori. You found me on Facebook. Yay! Everybody is starting to find me on Facebook now. This is great. Anyway, new day, new adventure. So that's what I'm going to use. And if you are wondering, that sentiment is from this Feathered Flight stamp set. So this is not one of the new stamp sets from the new mini catalog. This was actually available last month. It is one of the online exclusive stamp sets. So you can find this online, but you won't see it in any printed catalog. So Stampin' Up! Is starting to have more products available, and they're doing it by offering them just online. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not a bad idea to go look at the online exclusives from time to time. That will show you the things that are available only online. So online exclusives if you're searching for products. So you can find them. And I am just going to break in here for a little moment. I believe, well, there may be people watching that are not part of the chat, but Jen, Joanne, and Lori, welcome to all of you. You are all part of the Great Stamping Believers team. I just, that thought just crossed my mind. So, everyone is a demonstrator and everyone is part of my team. So I find that very exciting. So welcome to you all. Okay, yes, we will craft tonight. We will get this card made at some point. All right, so, oh, I was going to stamp, wasn't I? Squirrel! I'm going to use Poppy Parade for my sentiment. Great. On here. There we go. Look at that. New day, new adventure. Okay. Get the excess ink off of there and give this a quick clean so that I don't use it in a different color next time without cleaning it. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our cardstock, and what we want to do with this is put our designer series paper onto the cardstock, leaving a border. So there's a border around the whole edge, and there is a border in between the pieces. And I find it helpful just to set them on here just to kind of get a good visual of how much space there is and that I want to leave. So this is a little bit similar. This might have actually been better on a different color background, but I didn't test this one, obviously. I tested the other paper, and I should tell you, I can actually, hopefully you've all seen the catalogs by now, but because they did go live today, but this paper that we are using is a celebration paper. It is part of the sunny days. So there's the Poppy Parade piece, and just see a little smidge of the pink side from the back there. I have some other pieces cut with some other paper from this, so I'll show you some more of this pack as we go as well. But that's where it's from. It is from Celebration. Okay, so I'm going to pick these up one at a time and glue them down. I am going to use liquid glue because that will give me a moment to smush them around a little bit if I need to rearrange or reposition any of them. And I'm going to put the glue on all three pieces before I stick any down, because as much as the liquid glue does give you a moment to reposition your paper, it's a fairly brief moment. So if I have to take time to glue each piece in between, by the end I would be able to move the first one. So, okay, now next little tip is to put the top and bottom pieces on first. Okay, so I'm just going to drop this down onto here, and then I'm going to put the top piece on, hopefully leaving about the same amount of borders. Why I want to reposition this a little bit. Whoops, best not to stick your hand in it. But then what you can do in the middle is just kind of share the gap. So if uh, if it's a little bit larger than the top and bottom gap, it doesn't matter because these two in between here will be very similar. So there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Once you have it sort of down in position, flip it over and give it a really nice press on the back. And the reason I flip it over is because because the glue can uh, allow your paper to move a little bit. If you push on the front, you might actually move it. And once you got it all in place, that's the last thing you want. So, okay, just going to give my card base a fold here. So, then this is just going to go right on here. And this onto there. And I will pop that with dimensionals. I think I want the frame. I think I'm going to put this down right now, get it into place, and then decide what we want to do with the sentiment. I love these kinds of layouts because you're basically, while you're prepping and making a card, you make two. I always say, why make one when you can make two? Because one sheet of cardstock makes two card bases anyway. But this one is especially suited for making two. So what do we think? I actually kind of like it without without the frame. So it's a lot of thread going on with it. Yes, I think I prefer it just with the white. Any thoughts? Going on. So I am going to pop this up on dimensionals. Oh. Looks great both ways. Okay. Well, then I can't go wrong, can I, Jen? We'll do this one this way. I suspect the next one might have to be that way as well. But I might jump over to the other colored paper too, just to show you a different color. Okay, so there we go. And then, of course, we need some gems. It's not a card till you put the bling on. So let's see what we have here. I'm still getting familiar with the new gems. So those, oops, oh, that's a terrible way to show you. Don't ask me the names. Oh, well, go ahead. Ask me the names. It's written on here. Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock foiled gems. So Petal Pink, which is this color here. So we could use those. What else do I have? I really like these too. These are iridescent foil. Can you see those? I like these are great because they're iridescent, so they sort of reflect whatever colors around, and they go with everything. Or we have these. These are little cork rims. Adhesive back to cork rims. Something different. These would be great. These are great for me because I have to put bling on a card, but they're not shiny and glittery. So they're good if you're doing a masculine card and you still need to put some gems on. It's kind of like the happy medium of gem. Okay, I think I'm going to use some of these. I think this is a brand new pack. I haven't used any of these yet, so I think that we should. Yeah, so there are two sizes here, two colors, two sizes. There we go. Hello, Julie. Welcome. So there you go. It's actually a fairly quick and easy card once you get your measuring done. Uh, right. So there's one. Can I? Okay, maybe I'll move on to the next one. Just so I can show you some of the other paper. But I did actually cut this, so you'll have to look at it in a little bit of a chopped up version. Okay, so for this one, I'm using shaded spruce for my card layer. And this time I really did use two different pieces of designer series paper. So there's cherries, some cherries from that side, but I'm going to use this green side, and then we have some some flowers, and on the back we have sunshines. So this is really cute too. Okay, so cut this in advance, and now I can't figure out what's what. Okay, one more green one. So there is that one. Now this, I kind of think, I think we can swap this all out. Not that this won't make a great card, but just do it this way. And did I not, did I not cut extra sentiment pieces for this card? Good thing I didn't do two of the others because I don't seem to have any white pieces for this one. That's okay. It's okay. We'll use this one. We'll end up making the second version of that. So I am going to use shaded spruce for my ink this time. And I think I'm going to use the same sentiment. Trust your block, you checked it. Okay, yes, trust your block. Sometimes the the sticker on the back is not quite straight, but you have to remember too that you mounted it based on the rubber of the words. And so the sticker isn't what's creating the stamped image. So trust that you've got it on your block straight if you took the time to make sure that you did. Sometimes I just whack it on and then you can't trust it. But anyway, okay. So again, I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I will put it on all three pieces before I start to stick any of them down. Okay. So if you are on my mailing list, you would have received the flyer for my girls' getaway weekend coming up March 8th to 10th. So the details for that are all out. And if you have any questions, you can get in touch with me. And if you want to register, love to have you along. $50 deposit will secure your spot. It's going to be another awesome weekend, as they always are. Okay, so again, I am just going to try and set these down without pushing them down so that I can move them around a little bit if I need to. Oh, okay. If that works. With a nice squish. Exact same card base. I've used thick basic white cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored 4 1/4. crease. Okay, and then we put this onto our base. Hello, Nancy, welcome. If you want to make this card, at this point you'll have to go back and watch the replay at the beginning. Well, I'll give you the quickie 2 second because we started with a full piece of card or designer series paper and we have cut it, obviously, as you can see. Okay, now this I did cut a frame for this one as well. Let's just take a look. There it is without a frame. This one doesn't have as much shaded spruce, really, so it might look okay. Frame. I don't think it overwhelms then. What do you think? Should we do this one with a frame? Maybe we'll do this one. Right. Just to be different, so we can see both ways. How's that? Variety, spice of life, right? Good. And again, oh, no. Where are all the dimensionals? I'm down to an edge piece. So I just need to snip this. Hope you all know, but just in case anyone doesn't think about it, all the edges of your dimensional sheets, they are all sticky and they are all dimensionals. So uh, make make sure uh, make sure you use them. Don't let them get away. You like the frame? Okay, Jen, good. I'm glad you like it. And that's what we're doing. Whoops. Do you find these dimensional backs everywhere? Like everywhere? They're kind of like glitter, except they're not sparkly, but they get everywhere, just like glitter, it seems. So there we go. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the love and all the rest there. Now, we need some different gems because there's only a tiny bit of petal pink in there. I don't think I want that. Hmm, what do we want to do this time? There's there's not a lot of green in the new gems. There's pretty peacock, but that's not what we're after. We could use these, or let's see what else we have in the magic bucket. Ooh, ooh, that might be kind of interesting. Picking up the dark from the uh, leaves and stems, just to be different but sparkly. I think I like that. What else What else do we have in the magic bucket here? So many gems, so little time. Okay, I'll stop flipping. We'll just go with these. I think this would really work. These, in case you are wondering. Oh, adhesive back sparkle gems. Okay, if you love these, I might need to apologize. I don't know why this is so stuck in the packaging. Um, I'm not positive you can still get these. I'm trying as we end one catalog um, and start a new one. It's there's lots of new things, but I also try to pull uh, the retired things out of my stash so that I'm not using them anymore. So I have done a little bit of that. I mean, a lot of the stamps were, uh, yes, the black ones, Jen, yes. Um, a lot of the stamps for Christmas, so I'm not using those anymore. Um, hello, Candy. And today I went through my dies and embossing folders, but uh, I've not been, when I looked at my ribbon, I did the ribbon as well, but I did not do the gems. So I still need to check on those. And that's the whole thing here. I still need to figure out which of those have returned. So things from the fall mini catalog, some have retired, some will carry over. And so there's some sorting to be done. I didn't do that. So anyway, I do like those. That's kind of neat with the sparkly black. Can you see the sparkle? There's actually little bits of glitter. And it's hard to see on the cameras. But anyway, they are sparkly, but they're black. They just kind of pick this up. Little different, something a little different. How's that? So there we go. So that's two of the cards, and there are two more to be made. So I don't have sentiment boxes for the others. So they won't have sentiments, but I could show you the how they will go together. We could glue these pieces down just so you can kind of see some of the differences. And then we can chat. What else do we need to chat about? Let's see. Card class for January is coming up. It will use the translucent florals stamp set and the paper that coordinates with that. That was another online paper. So we'll be working on that. If you are interested, that is the 4th Wednesday of the month. And if you are interested in my card club, the January card club is in motion. We've reached the cutoff for that. But there's always the February. You can join for February. I did mention that Celebration is on and that with every $60 you spend, you can select a free item. Something that I did today that I want to suggest, recommend, demand that you do. Okay, I don't demand that you do it, but I do think you should think about it. If you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin or you want to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, or you like Paper Pumpkin, think about buying a prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscription. So today, it's a little expensive, but you do get a month for free. I bought 12 months of Paper Pumpkin, one fell swoop. And I'll be honest, it was 300 something dollars. But then you get celebration items. So I get a whole bunch of extra free stuff for something that I would be getting anyway. So why not take some free stuff with it? So if you do subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, if you are paying month to month, you can get just a 1 month prepaid code, and even that would qualify towards a $60 purchase for a free celebration item. But you can also get a 3-month or a 6-month, so it doesn't have to be a 12-month prepaid. You can get 1, 3, 6, and 12, and anything at all that you purchase in January and February will earn you celebration rewards. Every time you get to $60, you will earn another item. And or 120. There are some $120 items as well that they've offered the double items. the last few years. So there are some dies in there. There's a stamp and embossing folder. So it's you get kind of into the bundles and things. So but those are, and you can certainly get some of those if you buy one of the larger paper pumpkin prepaids. So anyway, just wanted to mention that because this is the time to do that. Why not get something extra for free if you can? I say this looks wicked about the cardstock. That could be part of the problem. Here we go. Okay, turn this over, give it a nice squish, and put the lid on my glue, squishing that anywhere. This one, whoops, this one, this one more card base. I could cut card bases, but I don't have the die back. Oh, these dies, by the way, I do have the die back here. Yeah, I'm such a liar. Thoughtful expressions. This is from the new mini catalog. Check this out. Look at this 19 dies in this set. It's huge. So there is, this is a hummingbird. Do I have the stamp set here? I don't even have the stamp set here. Let me grab the stamp set. Yes, here we go. Thoughtful expressions. And for anyone doing the online retreat, this is our main bundle that we will be featuring. So there will be 4 make and takes that use this bundle. And then there will be more make and takes using different things from the annual catalog. But there'll be 4 using this because this is what we have selected as our main bundle. And it's, to me, like, it's beautiful. Look at that. I love hummingbirds. But there's just some lovely sentiments in here as well. And you can use your Stampin' Blends, your Stampin' Write markers, or your sponge daubers, or many, many things to color these items. And then the dies. Oh my goodness, look at all these layers and layers of dies. I love layering dies. So, but it also cuts out the butterfly and actually all of these. So the flowers and the little flower bridge. And then there's also some leaves that you can cut, and then just some random flowers that don't have a stamp to coordinate with it. So lots going on in this set. Thoughtful expressions. Okay, do I have some basic white cardstock available? Usually I have some sitting here, but believe it or not, as much as I've not really cleaned up a lot of the craft studio, I did have to clean some things off of my desk here because I had no room to stamp. Okay. Look, the mini cut and emboss right here at the ready. I just leave it under my desk now. Just seems kind of handy. So we'll just use this and cut cut a sentiment box. Oh, sorry, I'm going to wiggle and jiggle you a little bit. Okay, since I have this all right here, I think I've actually stamped this first and then done that. The wise would have done it that way. However, not always. Okay, maybe I'll do 2. I'll do one each way. So we need one in parade. Oh, do one more finishing spruce. So I was, oh, hello, Donna, welcome. We're just finishing off our second set of cards from what we did tonight. Oh, I was going to go back and tell people the cutting. So on your designer series paper, I've measured down 1 1/8 and up 1 1/8. And then on the other side, I've measured down 1 7/8 and up 1 7/8, and then just line up your marks and cut. And you cut both pieces of designer series paper at the same time, and then everything will line up perfectly. Okay, there we go. So I still have not. I have taught 7 days. I guess I'm off. I was off yesterday and today, but I have taught for 7 days. But I still have not skied. So I have not actually been to the top of the mountain yet. We were sort of thinking of going today, but there's still only 2 runs open. And well, there's 2 runs in the village, um, and 1 run over at South that they just opened up today. It hadn't been open at all, but they opened it up today. But the village is still very busy because technically it is still Christmas holidays, and parking is kind of a zoo. And we just sort of said, and then we said, well, we could park it South and take the shuttle over, but then you're walking in with boots. So look, Steve doesn't like doing that. Well, I don't like doing it either, but his boots seem to bother him when he walks in them. So walking in ski boots is not the most comfortable thing. And so we basically bailed on going skiing today. So I still have not been out, but hopefully I work the next 2 days, Friday and Saturday, and then I won't get up to the top of the mountain for either of those because I'm teaching beginner groups. But hopefully next Monday I can get out. Now this one, oh, so here's something a little different. Because we've got the main patterned paper in the center for both of these, we may want to put our sentiment at the bottom or the top or somewhere other than in the center. Or maybe we don't. What do we think? Any thoughts? Anything? Any positioning jumping at you? Looking good? Okay, I don't think I like that one. This one might work, which sort of implies that this one will work. And then, of course, there's the, if we put it here, do we want it with or without the frame? There's an interesting thing. The other thing you can do, and maybe I will just chop one of these down since I have 2 of these Puppy Parade frames. Oops. Back to the die cutting again. So I don't have a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock here, a spare, but I have one of these frames, and this is smaller. So this is just going to be my piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to cut the smaller size out of this. I'm going to jiggle you again. apologize. Okay. And now with this smaller piece, what we can do is bring this back in, cut this right across. So you can cut it in half, basically. So then we could either put it out the ends like this, or we could put it over the top. Oh, no, looks better at the ends, doesn't it? Okay, so I am going to cut it. We don't need the whole thing. In fact, it tends to stick out if you put all of this in there. So that's just extra because we're just going to put a little bit of a border on each end and put that on. Okay, I'm just going to stick it down. If I don't like it, I will tear it off. If we think it looks terrible, we can redo it. And you can use your liquid adhesive or your Seal Plus, whatever you use for this. It's not, it doesn't really matter. Just have the liquid suit right there. Okay. Put that down like that. Just a smidge. There we go. And then you just have a little bit of a frame. Oh, I do like it. Do you like it? I hope you ladies like it. I think it looks nice. So I'm going to use that as soon as I find my adhesive. Okay. Put this on. Oh, don't have that folded quite nicely, but a little bit. Right here. I don't. And again, dimensionals for this. Where's that? Okay, so I just cut a whole strip of them. And now, of course, I can't find it. This is why we have many dimensionals everywhere because they tend to, they hide. This right down here. I think this would work. Whoop, I think it would work better if I had it straight. There we go. Now it does leave this a little plain maybe. This one might need like an image or something. Or maybe I should have put this up in there. This is where I start to second guess everything. But I have stuck that down now. What else do we have? Can I cut one of these out of this? Oh, look. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to wiggle you and jiggle you again. Or I could even pull out some stamps. We are going so way off of, the original plan here, aren't we? Okay. But let's just see if we can finish this off before we go. I have 4 minutes before 8 o'clock. Okay. And I know I don't always go the whole hour, but I kind of plan that it could go up to. So, I might use all the time that there we go. see whether this works. And then you can also see this new dye. I do not have my dye brush here, so I'm just going to poke these guys out. Mostly falling into my hand. So I can put them in my little paper trash bucket that I have at my desk. It's just, come on, baby. You can do it. There we go. Okay, so there is this flower. Um, I think that I mentioned that this is what we're using for our online global retreat. Just so everyone knows, if you are part of the Great Stampin' Believers team, you will have the access pass to the retreat absolutely free. It's just one of the perks of being on my team. So you'll get all the tutorials and access to the Facebook group and Zoom events. So I don't know that I want both of these. We have these three little flowers, which could just be used almost like an embellishment. Oh, even that changes it up, doesn't it? Yes, that does help, but I don't see this one. Okay, so there's little flowers. Everybody got that? I'm going to need some opinions here. So there's the three little flowers. And here is, problem with this is that it's all very much on that side, which is why it's sort of leaning over to this side. Does that? Any thoughts? One larger flower, three smaller flowers? Anybody have thoughts, ideas, preferences that they want to share? Yeah, I'm thinking maybe these three little dots. Eh? So, easiest way to put these guys on is with these guys right here, blue dots. Okay, so you just take these. I don't, can you see that there is a blue dot there? Oh, come on, baby, you can focus. There we go. So blue dot. They come in a roll. You get lots. I don't know how many are, but there are lots. And you just stick these down onto here. And then when you pick them up off of this, they are sticky. Okay. There we go. That's working, but I think you need a few little centers for our flowers. So I'm going to pull out some of these. These are festive pearls. I think these, pretty sure these are in the annual catalog. Because now I'm questioning myself whether these are still available, but I think these are from the annual catalog. So they will be available until April, the end of April. And then they will go away because they've been around for years. But, well, I don't know that they'll go away. It's just my thought that they will go away. Who knows? But I love them. I love little tiny gems like this for something just like that. Do we want a couple on here as well? What the heck? They're small. We'll just throw some more on. Eh, lots of little sparkly bits on there. There we go. Oh, I could use this one on this card, couldn't I? Oh, she says, what do we think about this? That's me, definitely. Or I could do this And this maybe I might put a border on this one like I did with the other one, like this, because I do like that. And then we could put this up here. Okay, I will finish that off. Um, but let me clear away a little bit of this mess and show you these cards all together. It's not quite finished, but whoops, this guy's standing on his head. So there we go. So we kind of we did a whole bunch of different things here, didn't we? Um, a little bit a little bit not planned, but that's kind of how it goes with Connie's Craft Along, isn't it? It's kind of how it goes for just about my crafting. That's why I call it my crafting adventure, right? I mean, I'm honest. I did tell you, join me on my crafting adventure. So anyway, those are the cards for tonight. It's an awesome layout. It's easy, and it's kind of a twofer. Um, Super easy to make 2 cards just from cutting, and you're making 1. So I hope you like them. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. It has been absolutely wonderful hanging out with you. Thank you so much for coming along with me this evening, and I hope to craft with you all again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.